thank you so much to our MediaTek Connect members who have joined us today. But more importantly, thank you so much Anuj and Anku for joining us for this AMA about the most important thing that people do on their smartphone apart from watching cat videos, which is playing video games. And before we come to you guys to talk about how MediaTek is powering the smartphones that people enjoy games on, I have one question for the audience out here, and please thoda honestly कहना, which is the latest game that you are playing on your phone? मतलब हाथ ऊपर कर दो, माइक आपके पास आ जाएगा, दो आपसे पूछेंगे. BGMI, okay. सब BGMI खेल रहे, okay. Then we'll turn the question around and we'll say, which is the first game you ever played on your smartphone? And I feel this answer is going to make me feel really old in life. Okay, fair enough. Temple Run, ठीक है. Which year did you play Temple Run in? Because I played it in 2009. 17, 18. 2010. I know. Nobody said Flappy Birds either. Hill Climb. वाह, ये ऐसी पहली मोबाइल गेम है जो मैं नहीं सुना हूँ. I want to check it out now. Yeah, okay. So yeah, keeping in the theme of starting from the blast in the past, right? Like you see games look so good today, and I remember the era when I was in college and we had a little, pixelated dot running around eating things called Snake on a phone. Yeah, so reminiscing, can you tell us which was the first game that you were exposed to on smartphones or on feature phones back in the day?
So actually, I like to go even before that, right? Yeah. So it kind of gives away my age, but actually I started my gaming experience with Atari 2600. So that was early 1980s, right?
Yes.
And I think people wouldn't have even seen that. It used to have like huge cartridges.
Yes.
And each game was about 16 kilobytes.
Yes.
Right? Games like Asteroids, Pac-Man.
Pong.
Yeah, all those games. And that's how it started. And I think we have come a really long way. Yeah. And of course, feature phones, I think Snake is a very famous game. But smartphones, I think we have got some good suggestions from there. But something like Space Impact and those are the kind of games I remember. But I think we have really come a long way. And I think that's what, from MediaTek point of view, we have to keep up with the times and make sure that the computing power, etc., is keeping up with that. Yeah. And that's what I think we'll delve over in the next few minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And Anuj, your memories with playing games on smartphones?
Absolutely. I think smartphones is something, the era what everyone is talking about today, right? But back in the day, like you rightly mentioned, Atari, right? And Samurai, and some of the interesting games that time was Contra, I do remember, right?
Yes.
Snakes,
yes.
I'm sure most of you would have also experienced, right? Sorry? Yes, absolutely. Mario was one of it, right? The back in the day, 90s and also, right? Yeah. But yes, so certainly we all have come a long way, but I think these experiences have been certainly helping everyone to grow in this ecosystem of gaming, right? And that's when when it comes to probably I can't stop saying about MediaTek, because at MediaTek we are innovating a lot of technology, right? And that's when all the gamers out here, right? So I'm sure there is a lot more there for them, right?
Yeah.
When it comes to overall MediaTek standpoint, yeah.
A lot more questions now. Like some games that you guys didn't mention that I really enjoyed playing during my time was Call of Duty Mobile. Most of you are on BGMI. And there's this little game, it's back from 2014, called The Room. It's a puzzle game, and any of you that have played the real life escape rooms, where you go into a room and they lock you in for 1 hour and they have little clues where you can find the key to escape. That's a game called The Room also, which you guys should definitely check out. But yes, talking about how beautiful these games look. So from an overarching perspective, can you talk a little bit how MediaTek's technologies are helping these games look so good?
Well, I think over here again, I firmly do remember, that at MediaTek we certainly care about gamers, and that's when back in the past in 2019, right, back in the day when gaming was evolving, on smartphones. So MediaTek launches MediaTek Helio G series,
Yes.
wherein G was like for gaming itself, So back in the 4G era, right? So I firmly do remember, we launched our first chipset, which was MediaTek Helio G90, and G90T was turbo, for better gaming experience, right? And I certainly do recall, one of the first OEM partners was perhaps, Redmi, who launched one of the phones that time back in the day. And that was just a starting point for MediaTek, to keep on working in the direction, getting more innovation in the games, Not only that, but that was a time frame when MediaTek launched its own proprietary gaming, I mean, I would like to also check with the audience here,
Yeah.
Do anyone know what is the MediaTek gaming proprietary technology, what is that called as? That was an easy question, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's MediaTek HyperEngine.
Wow, that's right, yes.
Yes.
So at MediaTek, we have this technology, MediaTek HyperEngine. Maybe we can have a goodie bag or a round of applause for him.
Yes,
right?
yes,
yeah,
we do.
Because that's a right answer. Thank you for following that, right? So certainly HyperEngine brings a lot of amazing features, when it comes to the overall gaming experience, right? So a very basic feature, right? That time, was very important, right? When you used to play game and if there was any call interruption, right? So HyperEngine made sure that while you are on gameplay, there is no interruption for you. So I'm just talking about back in the day, and then of course, from that point till today, right? We have come a long way in bringing the best of the gaming experience. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think you've actually hit the nail on the head, because today people take such features for granted.
Yeah.
But the first time you remember when you were playing a competitive game online, and then your phone just rang and it came to the dialer, and
Yes,
you're like,
yes.
oh, I don't want to take this call right now. So
yeah.
very, very innovative stuff for the time. And speaking of innovation, Anku, my question is for you is, today MediaTek has gone way beyond smartphones, right? We've heard of so many collaborations with the likes of Meta, LG, NVIDIA, and so many other big names. So can you shed a little bit of light on how MediaTek is powering, devices just beyond smartphones for a great gaming experience?
Yeah, so definitely, MediaTek is much beyond smartphones, as you rightly put it. And if you talk about these collaborations, there's just some examples. But I think the main idea is that we look at the user behavior. And one behavior we really look at for the gamers is the response time. If you are actually fighting with someone, you're not playing for fun, you want to kill, right? And that time, I think the response time, latency, etc. really matters. So for that, we have one collaboration with NVIDIA. Now they have, I think many people may have heard about G-Sync monitors, right? So actually MediaTek has collaborated with NVIDIA, and now we have, we have the scalar chip, which is actually giving this function. And that helps actually to reduce the latency and the response time on the monitors. And that really is very helpful for, in the gameplay. Now, regarding the LG, collaboration, that is actually along with LG and Razr. So, what MediaTek has come up with is Bluetooth ultra low latency chip. So, again, that is about latency again. So, it is actually able to, if you are actually using a Bluetooth controller, and you are actually trying to play a game. Again, latency really matters, and this Bluetooth ultra low latency gives less than 1 millisecond response time, as compared to tens of milliseconds on a normal Bluetooth technology. So again, that helps in the gaming gameplay, right? And I think for Meta also we have that is more about generative AI. So we have there's a Llama 2 LLM, which is part of the flagship phones that MediaTek has, and that actually helps in the generative AI capabilities. So that is something which will help in the long run for the gaming. But all these collaborations really go a long way in giving a immense and incredible user experience. So and that's what we look for.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in the gaming community, they say, it isn't the games that make gamers aggressive, it's lag and latency that makes gamers aggressive. So, absolutely. Now, Anuj, you very well shed light on, the beginning of MediaTek's journey with gamers with the G series. And today we have a big family of Dimensity-powered smartphones as well. So, can you talk a little bit about how the technology has evolved from the G series to the Dimensity series, and how gamers can take advantage of these newer technologies on these newer chipsets?
Absolutely, of course, that moving from 4G to that of 5G, MediaTek 5G Dimensity chipset series, right? So we have a complete range of series. I'm sure some of our friends would know here, but we have a complete MediaTek 6000 series, 7000 series, 8000 series, and then the most important flagship series, right? So we are enhancing, the gaming capabilities in almost all these series, which essentially enhances the gaming experience. The kind of optimizations which are done, in these chipsets, they're really awesome. For instance, talking about our flagship series, which is MediaTek Dimensity 9000 series, which is powered by 4 nanometer, the tech nodes, right? So which really helps as a gamer, right, to have more of power, overall, from the battery use point, right? It would be taking the less power consumption from your phone, right? And the kind of graphics, which are there, So there are all high nodes, for gamers here, right? Which are the powerful, nodes which are there, right? Which are always on, for gaming experience, right? Not only that, but a lot of other technologies, right, which enhances the overall gaming experience. For example, talking about VRS. Guys, anybody knows what's VRS? Anyone else?
VRS.
Yeah.
Voluntary retirement to नहीं
Not VC, not VCR, something from I think predates even my parents' era where they watch movies at home. No, this is
So
VRS.
yes, so see guys, we are here, we are talking about overall enhancement of gaming experience, right? So yes, this is one of the MediaTek's flagship phone which I have been using, and my colleague, Pratik, he has been after this phone, right? Because he's also a gaming freak and he really wants to experience, gaming, with this phone. So Pratik, what is VRS?
Variable rate shading. You said that. Yeah, can you explain what that is exactly? I know you memorized it.
So I'll take a stab at it. Like let's see if I get it right. Okay, I haven't read up on VRS in a while. Basically, look at a racing game, right? Your vehicle is moving very fast and you're competing with other racers. Your eyes will look at your car, maybe a part of the road, maybe certain environments which you are meant to look at, especially the car which you will be, let's say, overtaking, or another car coming from behind that's really close to you. The fidelity of all these objects that you are meant to see is very, very high, and all the processing power goes into making this looking the best. But the other things, right, like if there are bystanders, or if there's a house somewhere, or if there's a cloud in a corner which your eyes are not going to notice too much of, is going to have a lower rendering resolution, so to speak. And when you're driving a car in the racing game, everything is moving so fast you can't make out that all the effort of the chip is put into what you're actually meant to see. That is variable rate shading, like different amount of investment of the resources to make things look good, what you're actually meant to see. Am I right?
You're absolutely spot on.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So
Wow.
Coming from you, it is actually expected you to actually answer.
No gifts for that.
No, arey.
no goodie bag for you.
No goodie
here,
bag.
right? But yes, so at MediaTek, so with that of our Dimensity solution for 5G, we certainly make sure that overall gaming experience is much faster. It is actually absolutely flawless. In terms of the overall gaming experience. So such more of technologies are certainly part of Dimensity solutions, right? VRS was one, like you spot on to that, right? But not only that, but moving from here to talking about when we are using the phone, especially a smartphone, right, for gaming experience, right? The orientation of the phone also keeps on changing, right?
Yeah.
So we also, have the technology, right, which has been taken care of for the gamers out here, right? So, so whatever orientation of the device you have, right? So there won't be any change in your gameplay experience.
Looking at how far MediaTek has come, I'm just going to read out some stats about MediaTek, which is MediaTek is the world's 5th largest global fabless semiconductor company, which I would like you to explain what this means to the audience as well. But having said that, MediaTek's chips power more than 2 billion devices a year. So chances are that apart from your smartphone, you've already experienced a device that's powered by MediaTek, and you probably don't know that's the case. And I'll give you my example, which is something to do with gaming. Is I have a 3-year-old at home, and with a controller connected to a Fire TV stick, we play some games on the Fire TV stick on the TV, and the Fire TV stick is powered by MediaTek.
That's right. Yeah.
So can you talk a little bit about this other family of devices that MediaTek is also powering?
Absolutely. But before we jump onto that topic, I would like our friends over here to give me 3 devices which are powered by MediaTek. Okay. Sorry?
Non-smartphone.
Non-smartphones, yes. Smartphones we all know, right? Yeah.
We had a couple of hands up here. Yeah, let's.
Yeah.
No.
Anyone else?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Anyone else? आपके पीछे या?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Any specific smart speaker? आपके पीछे वाले
So
बंदे
Samir
ने
mentioned that at MediaTek we power more than 2 billion devices every year, right? Laptops?
Yes.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
And laptops, specifically Chromebooks, which are like live.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, great. Yes. So you guys know much about it, but yes, some of the friends I can see also here from Southeast Asia region, right? So yes, so at MediaTek we do power more than 2 billion devices, and these devices are a mix of your everyday's life. We always would like to bring the best of the technology to enhance your everyday's life experience, right? So be it smartphones, of course you all know about it, Wi-Fi routers, Chromebooks, smart speakers, smart TVs, Not only that, but something new and interesting, exciting, which you might have heard about MediaTek. MediaTek is also available in MediaTek Dimensity automotive solution, which is not only the two-wheelers but also the four-wheelers. So MediaTek is bringing the best of the technology when you are on move as well. So it's a matter of time. Probably you would know that what cars you guys are traveling are also powered by MediaTek, right? To enhance and enrich your experience with that of it. Yeah, so I believe you can name a device, and I think that's powered by MediaTek, be it Wi-Fi. Not only that, but I'm sure you guys must be using cars, scooter, two-wheelers, right? You go to petrol pumps and you are eating food at the restaurants and you're paying your bills, right, using credit cards. The POS terminals, mostly which you see, are also powered by MediaTek, right? So overall, from your home with that of Amazon Fire Stick, smart TV, Wi-Fi router, which is a need of an hour today, right? And smartphones, of course, right? Automotive, right? So you can just be innovative about IoT technology, right? At what MediaTek is powering today. There's a lot of innovation there, in this IoT-based solutions also, which are available today, enhancing your life experience.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, you hit the nail on the head. I think even if someone who is not aware that there are these 5 gadgets in his house, they're probably powered by MediaTek.
Yes.
So subtly, you're probably already in every home that's there.
Yeah.
But again, coming back to the focus topic, and Anku, I'd like to hear your opinion on this. Is we've seen form factors of phone change so much over the years. Like foldable phones were once upon a time just a concept shown at big international showcases, but today we actually have MediaTek powered flip phones, fold phones.
Right.
Not only do they provide a great entertainment experience, giving you a bigger screen when you unfold it, but also a bigger screen to game on.
Right.
So how has MediaTek helped change this, and what's the feedback you've gotten from the audience about these new form factors?
So I think, because we are talking mostly about gaming here, and a foldable phone, if you see, it gives you more real estate, right? Now, if you're playing a game and you have a mini map, now actually that can show more stuff.
Yeah.
You can actually become more intelligent in that sense, and actually it helps your gameplay again, right? The mini map can show more things, and even the options can be more greatly enhanced, and the more things you can do. Secondly, it has the four finger gesture control. So I think all these aspects of the foldable phone actually helps in the gameplay, right? And apart from that, I would also like to mention that MediaTek is able to bring out chips which have 10-bit color now. So that also has a very good relevance with the games, because 10-bit color actually supports 1 billion colors, right? As compared to 8-bit, which is 16 billion. And now you can actually see those shady characters in the backside, which are maybe light gray or light blue, which you otherwise cannot, right? And now you can have a better game to play. So I think all these aspects, and I think something which we didn't touch earlier is about ray tracing. So ray tracing also is something similar to what you mentioned earlier. It can actually show the shadows and in the games and all that. So that also actually brings out the reality, or makes it very real.
Yeah.
So all that is also, it actually needs a lot of hardware acceleration for the ray tracing. So all these aspects actually are built into the chip, and that helps the gamer to win and also to have a good experience.
Yes, absolutely. And before we move on to my final question for you, I have some quiz questions for our audience. Some of these we have spoken about already, so we'll know how much you are paying attention to or not. The first one is fairly easy, so please pehle haath upar karna, right? Don't just blurt out the answers. How many devices does MediaTek power each year?
So very difficult question, man.
I said I'm starting out with something very, but you have to pick who do you want to answer, because this is a person who's going to win a prize. So you can pick the person. Yeah, you haven't spoken here. Yeah, right
behind Pratik.
Right behind you. Pratik, you can't. 2 billion.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay.
So it's basically 2 billion plus.
Yeah, that's what it says. That's what I said.
2 billion plus.
Yeah.
The plus is being sold right now. Somebody's gone into Chroma or
that's
Reliance
right,
and just bought a new MediaTek powered device. So those are all the pluses happening. We did speak a little bit about TVs, but let's make this one a little difficult question. Is what is the name of MediaTek's chipset that's powering smart TVs?
Series maybe. Series
Yeah,
of
the chipset
the
series.
technology. Yeah.
One hand. Sole hand. Yeah. Please, ma'am. Yes.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Oh,
right. Wow.
Great.
Yeah.
Can anyone here name all the technologies and products of MediaTek powering TV, Wi-Fi routers?
Apart from Prateek.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So does someone want to take us? Oh, we have one hand up in the corner there.
Oh, okay,
We'll give you one cheat at the end if somebody else doesn't answer. Okay. Anyone wants to take a shot at listing at least 5? Chalo, sare nahi, but at least 5 MediaTek technologies. Graceful sixth one is MediaTek Pentonic, which now you already know about TVs.
Yeah. Smartphones
or any other chipset.
Somebody's googling it also, right?
Yeah. You put your hand up first, yeah. Google नहीं करने का.
Website से बता रहे होते check करके.
Yeah. No, but what is the name of the chip? Oh, we want the name of the MediaTek technology.
Like smartphones, we have Dimensity, right? Like that. The series name.
Yeah. ठीक है चलो the person behind you.
Add to this Pentonic, as he said. Now it's 3.
Pentonic, I told you, is the 6th option, so you still have to give me 3 more.
So I think HyperEngine also.
HyperEngine, ठीक है चलो मान सकते हैं. It's a technology in a chip.
Yeah.
But we'll give you that as a grace point for attempt. 2 more.
MediaTek.
नहीं.
Yeah, so he's talking about technology.
Technology is inside.
So
एक
that's why
technology
imagine.
का grace point मिल गया आपको. बस that's it. Nitansh, do you want to cover up on something that's missed out?
I think Anuj started with the Helio series for powering the gaming landscape. So there is Helio, which is still existing in Canada smartphones in the technology segment.
Yeah.
Then someone mentioned Genio, which powers the IoT devices.
Yeah.
And Anuj himself answered thanks to Auto, which is powering the Auto platform.
Yeah.
So,
That's right.
Yeah. So now we have 7 answers.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think the only one which is missing is Filogic.
Yes.
So that's for the Wi-Fi technology.
Wi-Fi routers and stuff.
And not only that, when it comes to the overall gaming experience from MediaTek, smartphones certainly essentially, are providing the best of the gaming experience. But we also have another interesting gaming solution, which is available today, right? So anyone knows about it? It's to do with our glasses, yeah.
AR, VR, mixed reality.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
I'm trying to tease it in. But if we have to ask them one more question, this is about something that you guys are announcing very, very soon, a new flagship chipset. Should we ask them if they know what's the name?
Yeah, why not?
They can guess it out, yeah.
Yeah.
So MediaTek is has actually already teased a new chipset that's launching literally this month.
Yeah, even before this video would go out, I'm
Yeah.
sure in the coming days, right?
Yeah.
So, this new announcement would be out. Yeah.
Yeah. So by the time
MediaTek is innovating and working on this flagship technology, and which should be out, and it's going to be the really one of its kinds. Yeah.
Can anyone guess what that is? It's a new chip. Yes.
I think it's Dimensity 9400.
Is he right?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's right,
Absolutely.
That's right.
So, yeah, I mean, there was this famous author who I have quoted multiple times in the past, and I think it actually makes sense to quote him again. He's called Arthur C. Clarke, who says, any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. And I can truly say that, if I showed 10 years ago myself some of the technologies that you can have on a smartphone playing games, it would be absolutely indistinguishable from magic. So my last question to both of you is, what is the next big magic that MediaTek is going to create? And you have to announce it right here. This is exclusive announcement happening right now.
I think, MediaTek, and one question we missed out is about fabless. So maybe we can start with that, right?
Yeah, about how fabless is.
So, fabless, I don't know how much you are aware. Fabless means that there is no fab, okay? And it is, so what MediaTek does is we design chips for several verticals, which you already mentioned. And that is all designing the chip. And then actually the fabrication is done by what's called a foundry, right? Like a TSMC, for example. So there are kind of 2 phases. Once you design the chip, and then you actually create the chip. So now from, I think, the magic point of view, I would say that we have been doing for several years, but we actually innovate more and more in the chips itself, right? We already mentioned about one flagship chip which could be coming, right? And but I think there's a lot of effort which goes into the chip, designing the chips. And also, if you see, right now we are at the 5G era. and we already started working on 6G, and that is something which will come up in the next 4-5 years. So it's a long way off, but actually we already started working on it about 2 years ago. So it is a long drawn process of innovation and R&D and design. So I think that that's really not magical, you would think, but actually once we reach there, you will see the magic in that.
No, I absolutely agree with you. It is magical because there was a time when, you know, like being someone who travels for work, if you've not downloaded something on Netflix on a flight where there is no screen, you're like, abhi ye download nahi hoga time pe. But with 5G, one episode or 3 episodes of your show is just like 20, 30, 50 seconds at best. So
Correct.
I can only imagine what 6G will do to speeds.
So I think that is something. It'll be definitely. I think even 5G is kind of magical, and if you see that the new startups coming up who are trying to leverage the 5G aspect of low latency and high speed, and those use cases are coming up now as we speak, right?
Yeah, next generation connected cars.
Right. Yeah, that's right. Next generation connected cars, and when they'll have intra car connectivity and outside car connectivity. And I think all these aspects are going to create magic because once you sit in the car, I think one person can watch Netflix, one person can watch Amazon. Of course, the driver should not do all that.
Self-driving cars,
unless it is self-driving. So I think all these aspects are going to become mainstream. I think that will be the magic. Right now, it looks very far-fetched, but very, very soon we are going to see all these technologies becoming mainstream. And I think Anuj mentioned about automotive. I think automotive is going to be a very big growth engine for MediaTek going forward, because as people would imagine, there's a lot of semiconductor inside any upcoming EV car or even an ICE car, which has a lot of technology inside. Things like multiple screens, connectivity, telematics, and being able to talk to the outside world, so that the car can can navigate the roads better, and ADAS and so on. I think there's so many technologies which are all that actually depend on the chip. Yeah. So that's what we design, and I think I'm sure it'll make a lot of magic.
Absolutely. Anuj, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, absolutely. So like we all know, right, chip is like a heart and a brain of the technology what we are using, right? So it is very important, right, to be always active, right? So in that ways, right, I mean, certainly there are a lot of upcoming technologies, right, Anku rightly mentioned, right, MediaTek is working on, right. AI is something, which is certainly going to be changing the landscape. MediaTek is always on the forefront of that as well. So AI can certainly be seen today also, right, in many of the smartphones, in many of the upcoming, devices powered by MediaTek today, right. But generative AI is something, you should certainly see upcoming by MediaTek, which is certainly going to be changing the landscape of our gaming experience, our even thought process, right. It is going to be adding that kind of value. But even we talk about today, right, I mean speed, right, gaming experience, overall internet experience, right, even today if at all we talk about, MediaTek has also, tested speeds like 300 Mbps, upload speeds, with one of the networks, which happened in the recent past, right, with that of a flagship chipset 9000 series with, on the Nokia, with that of Airtel networks, they were awesome experiences which we have. So we keep on working very hard, progressively, with a strong R&D team which we have, over at MediaTek. We spend a lot of effort in R&D. Anku rightly mentioned about our presence, overall, globally. But we're talking about even India also. We have more than 1,200 engineers here. It's a global R&D center in India. So we always work tirelessly to bring the best of the technology for globe and also for India. So yes, a lot of innovations.
So just I would like to add something. So just to give an idea to the audience about the R&D. In the last 5 years, MediaTek has spent $18 billion on R&D, and that's the kind of effort which takes takes to get those technology out, right? And I think for the AI use cases, I'll give them 2 examples, which are kind of look very relatable, right? And so now recently we tied up with for a 2-wheeler control panel. So I think from the AI point of view, it could have a function like if you don't wear the helmet, it may not start. Right? No, that is a security feature. So I think I'm just making it up, but it could happen, right? I mean, this is a very feasible feature. Secondly, in the car, if actually you're trying to drive a car and you're dozing off, I think the AI cameras can actually give an indication that again from the safety point of view. So all these things are going to become mainstream going forward. They're not very complex because the complexity is the chip which is available. So I think all these use cases will be implemented, and I think people will really enjoy that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we've come to a point where just our expectations are surpassing everything, because once upon a time, going and buying a car with airbags was a big deal,
Yeah.
and today ADAS is considered to be a fairly common feature in a certain segment of cars. Ray tracing was limited to Pixar's animated movies, but today you can play a game with it powering your phone, and I just think that the future of technology of the little device that sits in your pocket is just way larger than it's meant to be.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I would like to thank you, Anku and Anuj, for being here on this AMA with our audience. I would also like to thank our audience for participating and enjoying themselves here today. We have some devices for you to experience back there. And for the rest of you that have been watching at home, we would like to have you next time for this AMA session that's live, or another very exciting event that's going to happen with MediaTek very, very soon. We'd like to see the rest of our MediaTek Connect members there. Thank you so much for joining us. As always, we will catch you in another video. It's goodbye for now.
Thank you.
The experience at this AMA event was very great. I got to know many new community members also, and got to interact one-to-one with the MediaTek India leadership, Anku sir and our Anuj sir. So I would like to thank them for this event and this chance to the community member to interact with them and also give their feedback so that they can improve their products also.
As a community member, I am really happy to मतलब डायरेक्ट मैं इंटरेक्ट कर सकता हूँ ब्रांड के साथ और मैं उनसे अपने सवाल पूछ सकता हूँ या मुझे क्या प्रॉब्लम फेसेस होती है एज अ डेली लाइफ एज अ यूज़र, तो मैं उसे डायरेक्टली ब्रांड को बोल सकता हूँ और ब्रांड के साथ इंटरेक्ट कर सकता हूँ, तो ये मुझे फ़ायदा लगता है एज अ कम्युनिटी मेंबर।
मुझे यहाँ पे आके पता चला कि हाँ, सिर्फ स्मार्टफोन प्रोसेसर्स के सिवाय मीडियाटेक और भी डिवाइसेस के अंदर अपने चिपसेट प्रोवाइड करती है। और रिसेंटली जो मुझे सबसे ज़्यादा अमेज़ किया वो ये जान करके कि मीडियाटेक जो है वो ऑटोमोबाइल इंडस्ट्रीज़ के भी अंदर अपने चिपसेट्स को, अपनी टेक्नोलॉजी को प्रमोट कर रही है। सो दैट वाज द वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग पार्ट फॉर मी, जो मुझे आज पता चला।
आज के इवेंट में मुझे ये पता चला कि MediaTek is going to launch its new processor, which is Dimensity 9400. It is basically upgrade of 9300, and it is directly competitive with A18 Bionic and also a Snapdragon 8 Gen 4 processor. So that is why I liked so much, and I am waiting for this processor कि इसका experience कैसा होगा and how's the OS which implemented it.